Ladies and gentlemen, we are a little bit late, but we are going to get this done for you in under 20 minutes. This is the UFC 320 predictions and breakdown for the entire card, starting off with the early prelims and ending with the main event. We're going to get it done for you. This will be a betting breakdown as well. If you guys are looking to spend a little bit of cash this weekend and make some back, we are going to get it done for you right now. Let's get right into it with the prelim opener. That is Veronica Hardy versus Brogdon Walker. Now, I'm picking Veronica Hardy to win by decision or submission. Brogdon Walker should not be in the UFC. This is a complete layup for Veronica Hardy. She has lost 2 fights in a row. Got to the UFC somehow, some way. I'm not really sure. I guess it was the win over Miranda Maverick and the fight with Erin Blanchfield where she went to a decision. I'm not exactly sure why they brought her into the Ultimate Fighter whatsoever, but it is what it is. She went to the final, lost to Juliana Miller, and then lost to Yasmin Lucindo. She's taken a 2.5-year layoff. I'm not sure if it's because she had a kid. I'm not sure if it's because she had a big injury, but 2.5 years is way too long at 36 years of age to come back and fight. Veronica Hardy, 29 years of age, big prospect, a lot of good things in the last 4 fights for her. Had a very difficult fight against Eduardo Moura. Didn't really fall flat on her face, though. Kept moving forward, kept trying to win the fight. Did not end up winning the decision. But I think here, this is a really, really good opportunity for her to just show off her skills. Most likely, this is a layup for a finish. Veronica Hardy, I believe, only has 2 in her career. No, 3. It is what it is. But 3 out of 9 is not that bad. That is a 33%. I'm looking at Brogdon Walker probably getting submitted. She hasn't fought in a while. She did get ground and pounded out by Juliana Miller. I'm expecting her to be a little rusty and to get mauled. The decision prop is sitting at -250 for Veronica Hardy. If you're looking at any of the finish side, I do believe it is sitting at some crazy-ass value. We'll take DraftKings instead because I believe that I can just click on it without having to log into this dumb shit. Where is it here? Veronica Hardy versus Brogdon Walker. Yeah, you're looking at Veronica Hardy plus 550 on the KO and plus 650 on the sub. Probably inside distance sitting at plus 325. It's not that bad. I would hang around Veronica Hardy. I think it's a lock for the week. Ramiz Brahimaj versus Austin Vanderford next on the prelims. We're going with Ramiz Brahimaj to end up with a finish. Austin Vanderford hasn't really looked that good in his UFC tenure and through the Ultimate Fighter. He did have, I think it was Ultimate Fighter. Was it not? I thought Vanderford was one of those Ultimate Fighter guys. Maybe I'm wrong. But he comes into the UFC, takes on Nikolay Veretennikov. Veretennikov's not that good. But it looks okay. Lost to Aaron Jeffrey 3 years ago, and he's only fought twice in the last 3 years. I'm a little bit worried about that and the fact that he's probably going to get himself in some bad situations. He hasn't been caught in any guillotines. He hasn't been caught in any bad submission attempts recently. And with Ramiz Brahimaj inside that octagon, you get caught in something, you're not getting out of it. It's really similar to Brian Ortega with the triangle. It's very, very hard to get away from Ramiz and his guillotine. He's got some nasty shit. He doesn't have terrible striking. He looked okay against Mickey Gall, but again, it's Mickey Gall. He was a plus 350 against Billy Ray Goff, sitting here as a plus 240 now. The odds makers see that he does have a lot of value in his submission threat. He does have a lot of value at the fact that he's on a 2-fight win streak, and he has been in the UFC for longer than the majority of the people that are fighting on this fucking card. So I'm going to go with Ramiz Brahimaj to end up with a submission or win on the points. Plus 3.5 for points, meaning that he can lose 29-28 and you still win your bet. That is sitting at a plus 125. I think Ramiz Brahimaj in this situation is sitting closer to getting a submission than a decision win, but you can take the safety side if you want. By submission, I believe, sitting at plus 400. I think Ramiz is just a little bit better than Austin Vanderford. Austin Vanderford gets a little bit overzealous. This guy did beat Fabian Edwards, which was a huge victory. But again, 3-year layoff. You get brought to the UFC after a victory over Victor Romero, which isn't really anything. You jab the guy who fucking gets jabbed by a baby and gets knocked out. Lost to Gegard Mousasi, which is a little bit weird. And Ramiz Brahimaj is so much better on the ground than Gegard, so I'm going to go with Ramiz Brahimaj to just fucking submit him. Again, more likely than not, Austin Vanderford will win this fight. You should probably stay away if you're on the betting side, but my prediction, personally, I think Ramiz Brahimaj is going to end up catching him, because if he doesn't catch him in a submission threat, most likely Vanderford will just hold him down and blanket him for 3 rounds. Do I think Ramiz Brahimaj is going to not throw anything up from his back? No, but as the fight goes further, Ramiz Brahimaj, I don't know if Vanderford really gasses that well. He seems like he has an okay cardio. He usually just gets caught early on in his fights. Next in the prelims, Farid Basharat versus Chris Gutierrez. Now, personally, I am picking over 2.5 rounds in this fight. I don't think Chris Gutierrez is going to get finished, and I don't think Farid Basharat is like his brother. He's going to get chinned. Chris Gutierrez's striking is okay. I was thinking for the whole week, personally, on my side, Chris Gutierrez plus 3.5 to cover the spread. I did look at Farid Basharat's decision streak that he has. He did have 3 decision wins. That was over Victor Hugo, Taylor Lapilus, and Damon Blackshear. The only guy that won a round off of him was Damon Blackshear 3 years ago, and I think Farid Basharat has improved so much more through that, and that wasn't because of the striking. That was purely because of the grappling threat from Damon Blackshear. Chris Gutierrez doesn't have that threat, and he only has the Muay Thai. Do I think he's going to mess up the legs of Basharat so much that he's not going to be able to continue? No. Do I think Farid Basharat has what it takes to take Chris Gutierrez down and threaten him on the ground? Also, not really, no. Like, it's like, Chris Gutierrez is really good. This dude's really, really solid. He's got a really good mix of capability. He doesn't have the ability to force the fight where he wants to fight it, and that is on the feet. He has really solid takedown defense and doesn't just allow himself to get taken down. Granted, when he does get taken down, he doesn't really look to get back up. The guy doesn't have a whole lot of good jiu-jitsu, and I can understand why he's sitting at a plus 400. Do I think the plus 400 tag is fucking wild, though? 100%. This fight's probably going over 2.5 rounds, sitting at a minus 300. We can check that out right now. I don't know why we're in my fucking... oh, I might have clicked that, actually, my UFC studio link up here. Where is it here? Chris Gutierrez versus Farid Basharat. Wait, what did that say? Sorry? That said, I'm fucking lost. How did we lose it here? Farid Basharat. Yeah, minus 330. I mean, that's okay. But plus 5.5 for Chris Gutierrez. Plus 5.5 sitting at a minus 120. That is fucking ridiculous. We're giving Chris Gutierrez a plus 5.5 spread. This guy can lose 30-27 on one card, 29-28, and win one other card, and he can still win the fucking fight. That is fucking ridiculous. We're giving Chris Gutierrez a lot of love, or a lot of hate, excuse me. We're giving Farid Basharat a lot of love. A lot of love that is not fucking in tune whatsoever. Taylor Lapilus is not even close. Victor Hugo is not even close of a level to Chris Gutierrez, okay? Chris Gutierrez has been a top 15 bantamweight for his fucking entire tenure. This guy just can't break through, but he's still quite good. Did lose to Pedro Munoz, which is a fucking laughable, just not good. John Castaneda split decision. Kwong Lee, I don't know. I'm going to go with Farid Basharat, probably over 2.5. But again, Chris Gutierrez is not that bad where I think... it's a little bit of disrespect. Next on the prelims, Macy Chasson versus Yana Santos. And if we're going to think that we're going to pick the girl that lost to a 40-year-old Holly Holm or lost to Carol Rosa by split decision, no. We're picking Macy Chasson, a continuous top 15 bantamweight for a long time. Did end up knocking out, via doctor stoppage, Maya Bueno Silva. Huge grappling threat. A lot of good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a lot of good submission threat, and Macy Chasson was just able to outbox her, smash her up with some elbows. And now we have Yana Santos, who thinks she's just going to waltz back in. If you think I'm going to forget that you got knocked out by Aspen Ladd, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm never going to forget that, and that will always be something that is in the back of my head. Yana Santos is going to lose this fight. She is almost 36 years of age. She is at the downfall of her career. If she wins this fight, I don't know what to say. She's got 4 inches of reach disadvantage. She's got 5 inches of height disadvantage. And she's fighting Macy Chasson, who missed weight by 2.5 pounds because her fat ass can't fucking make 135. She has to fight at 145. And Yana Santos said, that's okay. We can fight anyway. You are fucking wild. This is going to be a pure stand-up fight, and you are allowing a girl to get weight gain on you. This is fucking insane. A pure boxer at that. Macy Chasson is going to win. Force her on the ground and get Yana Santos the fuck out of there. Macy Chasson minus 3.5 plus 100 is actually sitting very, very nicely. If you guys are looking at the money line, minus 220. I'm not very inclined to pick that money line spread. I don't really like that. I will add it to some parlays if that's what we're going to do. But again, I don't know. It's a little bit weird for me to look at. Macy Chasson see a 3-to-1 price tag. But again, she's 36 years of age. It is what it is. We're going to go with Macy Chasson to win by submission or decision. That's sitting at a minus 200 or minus 150, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Submission or decision, minus 130. We'll take it all day. She's going to force a lot of pressure on Yana Santos. But honestly, the threat of the knockout is there, so you can just take the line if that's what you're thinking. But again, 3-to-1 price tag on Macy Chasson, who just lost to fucking Ketlin Vieira. Yeah, okay, sure. Next on the prelims, Punahele Sori. Oh, Jesus, these fucking names, bro. They're rough. Punahele Soriano versus Nikolai Veretennikov. We're going to go with Punahele Soriano to win by knockout or decision, sitting at a -225, I do believe. Punahele, last time around, knocked out Uros Medic in the first round. Now, granted, that's not as impressive as it looks. Uros Medic constantly backs up with his chin up in the air every single time someone throws a 1 at him. And if you're going to throw the 2 over top and you just throw it a little to the left, you're going to crack Uros Medic with a huge shot and put him down. And that's what happened. He fought Miguel Beza, fought Uros Medic, got choked out by Dustin Stoltzfus and knocked out by Roman Kopylov, but I think he's improved since that time. I think he's a little bit faster, a little bit stronger now in his career, and I think Nikolai Veretennikov realistically is 0-3 in his UFC tenure. Lost to Danny Barlow, lost to Austin Vanderford by knockout, and then lost, or in my opinion, lost to Francisco Prado. I still can't believe Prado lost that fucking fight. I was really pissed off about that. I genuinely cannot believe how they did not give Prado that fight after beating up Nikolai in the last 2 rounds. It is what it is, sure. Punahele Soriano, though, gonna knock him out probably with ground and pound. Gonna force a lot of pressure on Nikolai. And is Nikolai gonna be able to stand up to that? I don't think so. I think he folds under pressure. I don't think he likes being pressured. I think he likes being the guy going forward. And I think when he's not the guy going forward, like he was against Danny Barlow, he kind of falls apart. And Danny Barlow, when he puts pressure on you, he puts pressure on you. And Danny looked really good in that fight. Forced a loss yet, even though, you know, hindsight's 2020, and you see the Sam Patterson loss, you can see the exposure of Danny Barlow's boxing. But in this situation, Nikolai Veretennikov should have been able to get Danny Barlow out of there, should have been able to get Vanderford out of there, in my opinion. And now we're left with Punahele Soriano, who's got hands like fucking bricks. We're going with Punahele Soriano to win by KO or decision, just in case Nikolai Veretennikov feels like dragging himself back to that finish line and losing another decision. We're going to go with the fact that Nikolai Veretennikov probably very stressed out about his UFC career, probably very worried that he's going to be dropped after this fight, and he probably will be. So he may be a little bit more aggressive, but that's just fuel to the fire for Soriano, waiting to sit on that right hand and put you out of the fucking world. Now, next on the prelims, we have, in my opinion, probably one of the most highlighted prelims of the evening, and that would be Edmund Shabazian versus Andre Muniz, excuse me. We're going to go with Edmund Shabazian by knockout or decision. In my opinion, Edmund Shabazian under 1.5 rounds, sitting at a +110, is fucking lovely. Andre Muniz took 1 shot from Iskram Aliskerov and just got fucking put out. Edmund Shabazian has crazy power in his hands. He can put anyone out of his lights. Problem is, Andre Petroski decision recently, I don't know what the fuck happened there. But again, the Dylan Budka knockout, very, very, very telling of what the fuck is going to come with Edmund Shabazian. He is a little bit inconsistent with his career, but he's very, very well known for just putting guys out into the shadow realm in the first round. And Andre Muniz is just one of those guys that just does not have a chin anymore. He looks absolutely shit. Jung Young Park split decision, which I thought Park probably won. And Muniz has never looked better than he did against Uriah Hall and Eric Anders. And that is so fucking long ago, it doesn't even matter. And these are such old guys that, again, it doesn't even matter. I'm going with Edmund Shabazian and the fact that he's 27 years of age, almost similar fight experience as Andre Muniz, and he's trying to force his way to the top. Andre Muniz does not see the crown anymore. He does not see the gold. He does not see the end goal in a UFC career. I truly believe, just one moment. Getting a fucking dry throat here. I truly believe that Andre Muniz does not believe that he can get gold anymore. I truly believe that he does not see a UFC championship in his future. And that leaves all of the fuel for Edmund Shabazian to eat up and just fucking torch Andre Muniz with. He's looking to get through to that top 15. That's what everyone's goal is. You're 27 years of age. You had some, 3 bad losses or 4 bad losses in a row, mind you. And now you're looking to, they gave you Dalcha, but Dalcha's a fucking free win. That was literally a free win for Shabazian. If he didn't win that fight, that would have been a fucking problem. Now we're back on the right road. Shabazian looking to get a knockout victory and make a statement. He's going to get it done, sitting at as a minus what? It's not that bad, actually, I don't think. I think he's a minus 325 and under 1.5 rounds, sitting at minus 140. I would take under 1.5 rounds by knockout. Edmund Shabazian in round 1, just by submission or knockout, is plus 160. That's not bad. $25 probably pays you around 40. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, or no, probably, yeah, you win 40, by the way, like 45, something like that. Next on the prelims, we have Patchy Mix versus Jacob Wilklatz, and this should be, if what I've been seeing from everyone, this should be a comeback. Listen, I am not very well known with Patchy Mix and Jacob Wilklatz. I watched a couple of fights from Patchy Mix, and I think he looks really fucking good. The submission over Sergio Pettis is really, really good. Magomedov split decision was really good as well. Jacob Wilcox, a very dominant submission threat through his time at KSW. This is one of the guys that, what's her name? The Polish fighter that used to be in the UFC. Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I believe this is one of the people that she used to talk about that he would eventually be in the UFC when he was younger. He is here now. He is fighting KSW versus Bellator champion this is basically just for stock in the UFC. This is basically for fans to fucking like someone, because at this point Patchy Mix is not liked. He had a fucking terrible fight against Mario Bautista. Looked like absolute dog shit when he should have beat the fuck out of that kid. And Jacob Wilcox here now. I think he's going to have UFC jitters. Patchy Mix is over that. I think he's very confident. Patchy Mix looks a lot bigger than Jakob as well. And he's going to be looking to just fucking put it on him. I think he's going to end up with a submission or a KO victory. I think Jakob's going to try and defend the submission threat. End up getting a ground and pound out by Patchy Mix. I think Mix is really good. I think Mix is in his element here. And I think the fact that he's already had a UFC fight, he literally has less. This one loss to Mario Bautista is the one loss that he's had in how fucking long? Since 2020. And that was during COVID when he couldn't even get a proper camp in. This should be an easy win for Patchy Mix. I'm going to go with Patchy Mix to win by submission or decision. That's sitting at a minus 200. I think the KO prop is available if you want to sprinkle a little bit on it, but I think if you're being realistic with yourself, Patchy Mix is going to try and force a submission out of Jakob, who just hasn't fought the high-level contenders that he's fought in Bellator. KSW is not the same as Bellator. It's not even close. I would argue that Bellator is probably the like UFC and Bellator. That's the same thing with Bellator and KSW. The UFC is Bellator and Bellator is fucking KSW. It's a big difference in competition, in my opinion. I'm going to go with Patchy Mix to get it done. I think he's got what it takes. I think this is a very good position for Patchy Mix to bust through and get it done. It's not a whole lot left for him to work out. He's got to be working now. We're going to get through these fights quick. Next on the prelims, Daniel Santos versus Ju Sang Yu. Ju Sang Yu is my lock underdog of the week. Give me him all fucking day. He just looks so much bigger than Daniel Santos. He missed weight, and he's going to be up. This is a catch weight. And we're sitting at about 150 pounds. That's fucking crazy. Ju Sang Yu barely cut weight. He's going to be looking big. He's going to be looking strong. And I think he's going to knock out Daniel Santos, who just has a little bit of a problem with pressure from guys. He doesn't deal well with a lot of guys that just put it in his face. He only has one loss in the UFC in the last 3 fights. But against the Korean Tiger, it's whatever. Johnny Munoz, whatever. I don't rate those guys crazy. And I think Ju Sang Yu here, after his win over Jekka and his quick win in the ZFN over Matsuo Kawana, I think Daniel Santos is going to go out, and I think he's going to get pressured a lot. Give me Ju Sang Yu as a plus 125 underdog, and it's not even close. Next on the prelims, this one's, I don't know how the fuck this is a real fight in the UFC, but it is. Atiba Gauthier is going to knock out Tristan Vines in the first round. It's going to be probably in the first minute. He's going to just put it on him, put his lights out. There is no fight in this whatsoever. This is purely a sheep sacrifice. I'm not sure why we're giving a sacrifice to Atiba Gauthier, who just fought Robert Valentin and Jose Medina. Tristan Vines is literally worse than both of those guys, and this is just purely a free fight for Atiba Gauthier. I'm not really sure why they're doing this. I understand Ozzy Diaz pulled out, but if you got the call, if you're Tristan Vines and you got the call to fight Atiba Gauthier, I would say fuck no. You've been knocked out by Raheem Forrest. Raheem Forrest used to be in the fucking Contender Series, bro. That dude looked like ass. He got knocked out by Danny Barlow super quick. I'm telling you right fucking now, you do not take that call. Atiba Gauthier is a minus 325 to win in the first round, a minus 300 to win by knockout in the first round. Take it. It's free money. Put all your money on it. It doesn't matter. You're going to win. You're going to win. It doesn't matter. Atiba Gauthier in the first round is going to win. Start off the main card. This is the highlighted at this point, because they are expecting a finish when you start the main card off, and this is Joe Pyfer versus Abus Magomedov. I'm gonna go with Abus. I really want to go with Abus Magomedov, guys. I really don't like Joe. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Joe Pyfer by knockout, but I think Abus Magomedov is underrated. I think Joe Pyfer here, I'm a little bit worried about his just overhand, bro. This guy just spams one fucking strike, and Abus Magomedov gets gassed. And I haven't seen Abus get gassed since the Sean Strickland fight, really. He gassed a little bit against Caio Borralho and a little bit against Bruno Ferreira. But again, these are guys that you know, put a lot of pressure in your face. So that's understandable. Michel Pereira couldn't do it. And that's a terrible win anyway. I'm going to go with Joe Pyfer just with the fact that he's fucking... They're feeding him, man. I don't know. I feel like they're just giving him fights they think that he can win. He lost to Jack Hermanson, but he won those first 2 rounds. And if he's winning the first 2 rounds against Jack Hermanson, do I think he's going to beat Abus Magomedov? Probably. The way he fought against Jack, too, he's fucking cracking him. Abus Magomedov's probably going to get knocked out in the 2nd or 3rd round. I don't know, man. I really think... I was going to pick Abus Magomedov on the spread. I think he can win a round. I think he can win the 1st round. I think Joe Pyfer is just a little bit questionable, bro. When's the last time someone took Joe Pyfer down? Jack Hermanson? He didn't do too well with that shit, did he? No. Abus Magomedov, he's got some takedowns. He's got some really good takedowns. He's got some fucking submission threats, bro. He's got a guillotine. He's got a fucking Darce. Yeah, fuck, man. This is a questionable fight. I'm going to go to fight not to go the distance. What's that pay? Where's that at? Yeah, we're not picking a fighter in this. Fight not to go distance. Minus 245. Yeah, give me that. I don't know. I can't pick. I don't know. If Joe Pyfer gets taken down, bro, he might get submitted. Dead ass. Abus might fucking submit this guy. I don't know. I just haven't seen enough from Joe Pyfer. I haven't seen enough to tell me anything. I haven't. And Abus Magomedov's a fucking nasty finisher. This guy's really good. He got brought into the UFC from the KSW, and he looks good, bro. He looks fucking good. He's got really nasty striking. He's got really good front kicks. But he's got really bad gas tank, and he leaves his chin up in the air. And I think Joe Pyfer can fucking just snag him. So I'm going to go with fight not to go the distance. Either way, Abus is either going to finish this guy or Joe Pyfer's going to finish this guy. This is the first fight on the main card. Again, we're at 21 minutes. We're going to fucking get this done. Next on the main card, Josh Emmett versus Yusuf Zalal. We're going with Yusuf Zalal to win, but Josh Emmett probably going to cover plus 3.5. Yusuf Zalal, you know, fighting some good contenders. Second stint in the UFC. Had a bad tenure last time. Lost to Ilia Topuria. Lost to Sung Woo Choi. And lost to Sean Woodson. He's one of the only guys to survive Ilia Topuria and his onslaught. And he's one of the only guys to not be finished in his entire career. We're looking at Josh Emmett to cover. He probably is going to drop Yusuf Zalal, not put him out. I'm a little bit stressed out for Zalal because of the fact that Josh Emmett and his overhand right are like fucking a freight train and a brick. It's a little bit fucked up, and I'm not really sure if Zalal is going to be able to handle it. I don't know if he gets tagged, if he's going to eat it, because Bryce Mitchell ate it and went fucking night-night for about 3 minutes, seizing on the floor, and that's pretty bad because he was walking into that one. But Yusuf Zalal steps in too a lot, does play a little bit more defensive, a little bit less stressed out about that. But with Josh Emmett here, 40 years of age, it's understandable that he's probably not going to win this fight. Yusuf Zalal is probably a really good pick here. But at a minus 500 price tag, are you going to be willing to bet it? Probably not. I would say, in my opinion, either bet Josh Emmett by KO/decision, the spread, or I would just stay away from this fight. You could bet Yusuf Zalal to win minus 3.5, to win better than 29-28 on all judges' scorecards. And that would probably pay you okay, probably minus 200 or something. Do you really want to stress out with that with Josh Emmett, who can just put his lights out at any time? I would say no. He is 40 years of age. It doesn't really matter. We all know that age doesn't matter at this point in their fucking careers. Jared Cannonier looks like a fucking tank, and this dude's 41 or almost 42. We're going to go with Yusuf Zalal to win, but I'd stay away from that fight if you're on the betting side. Next on the main card, Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Rountree Jr. We're going with Yuri Prochazka to win by knockout. I think Khalil Rountree Jr. is getting a little too much love from his fight with Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira was genuinely sick in that fight. He had the flu or a fever. He was coughing really bad. He was coughing up phlegm in his corner. You could hear you couldn't catch his breath in the corner. And he eventually just kind of waited until Khalil Rountree gassed out, and then he started putting a lot of pressure on him. And the fight with Jamal Hill, in my opinion, is fucking shit. Marcin Prachnio beat him. Ion Cutelaba knocked him out. Johnny Walker knocked him out. These are fights from a long time ago, but these are fights that do not leave your head. Yuri Prochazka is a pure KO artist. He is very unorthodox and is very, very different from anyone Khalil Rountree Jr. has ever fought. This is very similar to someone fighting Stephen Wonderboy Thompson or Michael Venom Page. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how they're going to jump in, and you don't know when they're going to jump in. And Yuri Prochazka is very similar. Fights similar to Yoel Romero chooses to blitz in when he chooses to blitz in, and when he chooses to put a combo on you, he's going to follow up that combo with 30 fucking punches, and he's never going to gas out. Yuri is always on the forward pedal. He does not want to gas out because he's not going to gas out. He's going to gas you out. He knows that you're going to gas out way before he does because of all of his unorthodox shit. He's going to run forward. He's going to put a lot of pressure on Khalil Roundtree Jr. He's going to end up knocking him out most likely. I'm going to go with Yuri Prochazka as a minus 200 favorite, and I'm going to go with Yuri Prochazka to win by knockout with a little bit of a sprinkle. I'm going to give that a little bit of a sprinkle at minus 105 on DraftKings. It is a plus 130 if you are on Bet365 in Canada. Make sure you go bet that now before your odds change. I love Yuri Prochazka here. I think he wins this fight with flying fucking colors, and I think Khalil Roundtree Jr. is getting a little bit too much due from his fight with Alex Pereira. I think it's a little bit gross that that's how it works. It is what it is. Yuri Prochazka is going to put the pressure on Khalil Roundtree Jr. here. Next, the co-main event of the evening, Merab Dvalishvili versus Corey Sandhagen. Now, if I am going to lie to you guys, I'm going to pick Merab Dvalishvili, and it's going to be easy. If I'm going to be honest, I don't know why. I tell myself every time, always pick Merab. Always pick Merab. He's literally called the machine. This guy literally has infinite cardio. Always pick Merab. He had his back taken by Umar. He had his back taken by Henry, and he was laughing the whole time, okay? It's a little bit fucking weird. He's got so many fights recently. He's an absolute animal. I'm going to go with Merab Dvalishvili to win by submission or decision. I think Corey Sandhagen here is very, very fucking live to win. I think he's very, very good, but losing to Umar Nurmagomedov is a bit of a problem. He can't deal with the striking and the grappling, and that's what Merab has. Merab's able to do both. Granted, he is a little bit more on the submission side. Corey Sandhagen has really, really good striking, and if he does tag Merab whatsoever, he's going down and out probably. Merab Dvalishvili is very chinny, has been tagged many times before. That nose is all fucked up, and he can probably barely breathe out of it at this point in his life. But again, we're going to go with the fact that Corey Sandhagen doesn't have a whole lot of championship experience. He does have one fight for the belt, or close to the belt, and that was against Aljamain Sterling a long time ago, and he ended up choking the fuck out, and that was to get to the title shot against Petr Yan. And now you have Merab Dvalishvili, who's just going to absolutely roll over him and just force him on the ground, force him in his uncomfortable places. Even though he's fighting at elevation now, even though he has, what's his face there? Fucking, what's the guy that fucking rolls the Imanari roll all the time? He works with him. Fucking, what's the dude? BJ. I just need to look at BJ Penn real quick because he fought BJ Penn and fucking snapped his knee. Ryan Hall. He's working with Ryan Hall. So, I mean, there's a lot of good things with that, but Corey Sandhagen most likely going to lose. Next, the main event of the evening. If you guys did enjoy this, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. This was Alex Poatan Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev for the light heavyweight championship of the world. I'm going to go with Alex Pereira plus 5.5. I think Magomed Ankalaev will make this fight close if it goes to a decision, and I think Alex Pereira is a true knockout threat here. Magomed Ankalaev is very, very good in the striking, but he doesn't have the leg kicks or the leg threat like Alex Pereira does. He's going to be throwing a lot of shit up top, going to be throwing a lot of shit down low, and Alex Pereira is going to be needing to mix it up quite a lot if he's going to want to win this fight. He cannot get himself taken down. He cannot allow himself to sit on the ground. He's going to be able to use that 5-inch reach advantage to try and just get Magomed Ankalaev away from him. It is sitting at minus 110 if you're looking at the plus 5.5 for Alex Pereira, and I think it's pretty good for a bet. Over 4.5 rounds, I don't know if you're safe there. Fight not to go the distance probably pays like plus 300. That's not that bad. I would actually fucking put a little bit of money on that. Magomed Ankalaev, a very, very dangerous KO artist. And Alex Pereira, himself, very, very dangerous striker. We're going to look for Alex Pereira to try and get his belt back. There is a lot of speculation and a lot of truth in the fact that Alex Pereira probably was injured in that fight previously. Granted, no one's ever 100% when they go into a fight, but sometimes guys feel like they have to take the fight, otherwise they look bad. And Alex Pereira and his aura is kind of like that. He has to take the fight. Again, Magomed Ankalaev, the more likely fighter to win this fight. A little bit more in-depth of a fighter himself, has really good takedowns, has really good mix-up capability, but the clinch work, the long-range attacks, and the reach from Alex Pereira is going to be giving Magomed Ankalaev a lot of difficulty. It's going to be giving him a lot of stressful interactions, and with Alex Pereira 100%, if he's been working on the pure game plan, usually he does better in rematches, and we're looking for Magomed Ankalaev to melt and wilt against the might of Poatan Alex Pereira. That's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. I will see you guys later for the live. I may have some friends over for it as well. Don't mind them. They are annoying, but I love them. I love them deeply. So they have to come over. It is what it is. They're going to be loud. I can't watch the fights properly, but I love them. They're going to be here anyway. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. If you guys don't see you, if I don't see you guys for the live, but I probably will, right? Peace.